first man to have wins at 100, 200, and 400 meter dash in the Diamond League. Beautiful people, it is your boy Limitless Mike, and I'm back with another one. And today I'm gonna break down. This is gonna be facts, opinions, and just speculation on why Fred Kerley is the next great sprint star, or at least is primed to take over the sprints. Once again, it is your boy Limitless Mike. Let's get right into it. And I'm gonna break it down for anyone who may not be too familiar with Fred. He's a 26-year-old American sprinter, born and raised in Taylor, Texas, a small town outside of Austin. Came up playing football, basketball, and running track, but really started to flourish in track and pursue track and field more. Started off his college at South Plains JUCO. Yes, JUCO product. Started off there. He ran all the sprints, the 1, 2, and 4, but mostly the 400 meters. In his first season there, I believe he was 6th in the JUCO Nationals in the 400 meters and ran on their relay as well. And then his next year, he competed at South Plains also and had a great season. After his time at South Plains Community College, Fred went over to Texas A&M. As we all know, A&M is one of the top schools for track and field, especially for the quarter milers. They always produce great quarter milers like the Borley brothers and many more. In his first year, Fred posted times around the 45 to 46 range. Didn't make it to the NCAA finals, but ran on their relays and was right around that 45 range. He even was in the 2016 Olympic trials. But that next year, he made some big leaps and big improvements. Because that next year, Fred would go on to dominate the 400 meter dash. He won the NCAAs at both indoors and outdoors, and even posted a 43.70 win legal time at West Regionals. So before Nationals, he had already broken 44 seconds and just capped off a dominant season. That season, he was also the USA 400 meter champion. He had wins over guys like Michael Norman and so many more, and just overall had a dominant season. So essentially, over the last few years, we have been watching Fred in the 400 meters. That's been kind of his specialty, and that's where he's been most dominant and more consistent, that 400 meter dash. After a rough 2018, Fred was back in great form in 2019. He was the US 400 meter champion in the 2019 season. Also went on to the World Championships, where he would take the bronze medal and get a gold with the men's 4x4 team for Team USA. So, just to reiterate, 400 meters, he has been dominant. And we all know going into 2020, we were getting ready for the Olympics, but we had the pandemic layover, pandemic cancellation. So that brings us to now. In the middle of the 2021 season, we saw something interesting coming from Fred. At the Olympic trials, instead of being added into the 400 meter fields, the race that we know him for, his bread and butter, something that he would have been one of the favorites in, he dropped down and entered in the 100 and 200 meter dash. Some people said it was a mistake. Some people didn't know what was going on or why. But Fred just had a lot of faith. You know, him and his coaches knew what he was capable of, and he wanted to take the risk. He wanted to just kind of go on faith. There is a theme where Fred, although he was always dominant in that 400, he's always ran the 200. And prior, more in high school and at South Plains, he would be running the 100. So he's always been an all-around sprinter. But he entered in that US 100 and 200, and at the Olympic trials, he placed second behind Trey Burmell and got the silver, and was moving on to Tokyo for the Olympics. The 200, he didn't do as well. He did not make the heats, but hey, he was moving on in the 100, and he just had to take care of business from there. As we all know, as the Olympics went on, Fred would get that silver in the 100 meter dash, and he was on the 4x1 team as well, but they didn't make it. So now the 400 meter runner is now the silver medalist in the 100 meter dash. He kind of broke the mold or beat the odds in some sense, and over the season he would have a lot. After the Olympics was over, Fred was one of the most consistent runners on the Diamond League and Continental Tour circuits, and that's really where he really took that 100-meter silver, gained his confidence, and started to blossom more than he's already been. Started to kill it even more. He took some L's throughout the season prior, but he really got his dubs up at the end of the season. He got wins over Trayvon Bromell. He got wins over Andre DeGrasse. He got wins over Kenny Banderick, all in the latter part of the season, and Fred finished the season with a 984 legal 100-meter dash, a 1976 legal at elevation 200-meter dash, and a 44.60 in the 400-meter dash. He only ran 2 400s, so this definitely wasn't his best effort at the 400. Now, with that being said, he became the first man ever. Diamond League has been out for 10 years. He became the first man to have wins at 100, 200, and 400-meter dash in the Diamond League circuit. He said he wanted to make history. He definitely did that. Also, he became the fourth man to ever break 10, 20, and 44 seconds in the 1, 2, and 4. So he's definitely on the track of making history. Now, to go forward, this is where he truly has the opportunity to become great and to go to the next level. He's not going to get to a Usain Bolt-esque level because he's a slightly older and Bolt is Bolt, but he has the opportunity to become the man in the world of the sprints. He has that versatility. No one else is really competing at 1, 2, and 4. There's guys who are doing it at 1 and 2, and there's guys who are doing it at 2 and 4. But no one that we've seen recently has done the 1, 2, and 4 at this high of level, is competing in all of them and getting wins at all distances. In the upcoming years, we're going to have the 2022 World Championships in Eugene, Oregon. We're going to have the 2023 World Championships, so 2 back-to-back World Championship seasons, and then an Olympic season up in Paris back in 2024. So Fred has dominant and consecutive years to run at high competitive levels where there will also be a lot of attention and media. There's going to be a lot of things that can hold Fred back. The things that will hold him back are going to be injuries, not taking training too serious, like getting gassed up. I don't think that he will, but these are things that do happen to athletes. You know, sometimes you go forward and sometimes you drink your Kool-Aid too much and you have to take a step back. So those are some of the things that could affect Kerley, but he got so many wins on the season that you can just tell. One, he's very determined. He said that he wanted to make history, and he's done that. He's repeatedly said that, tweeted that, and just really stood and lived in that I'm going to make history. And he's done that, and he will continue to do that. But there are some slight factors that can stop him, like those injuries, as well as the other men that want what he's going for, like Andre DeGrasse. DeGrasse has some wins over Fred Kerley, but Kerley also has wins over DeGrasse coming in the end of the season. Trayvon Bromell, it's kind of a similar situation. Trayvon Bromell was beating Kerley early in the 100 meters, but then towards the end, Kerley started to get those dubs over Bromell. Like in the Olympics, Bromell didn't even make it, and just throughout some of the other meets, he started to get those dubs over Bromell. You know, the Olympic champion, Marcel Jacobs, where will he be in the next year? And also, there's a big elephant in the room with Christian Coleman. He's going to be stepping back on the track, and that's just in the 100. So those are the guys he's going to have to compete against if he wants to run the 100 and dominate that in the next years. At the 200, it's a little more open, in my opinion, in the 200-meter dash. We have basically the king of it, Noah Lyles. Although he didn't win this year, he still has the fastest time and is one of the most dominant at 200 meters. We also have the youngin, Arion Knighton. He's going to be making strides, or looking to make strides, in the 200-meter dash, as well as Kenny Bednarek. He is probably the most consistent. Kung Fu Kenny has been the most consistent at 200 meters this year of just clicking. He's right around that 19.8, 19.7 time, and has really done it all year. Him and Kerley have a event where they even tied, like literally tied. So he's another person who's going to be kind of on the block to stop Kerley from getting into that dominance. And in the 400, we have Stephen Gardner, we have Michael Norman, and so many more. We have the Olympic champion Van Nerik. He's also going to be looking to dominate in the 400 meter dash as these two world championships come and as the Olympic championships come. So those are the main guys. Of course, there's going to be more, but those are some of the main guys who are going to be in front of Kerley and stop him from being dominant. But the edge that Kerley is going to have is the amount of events that he can do. He's getting to that. I guess he's like the male version of Allison Felix, where she was in the 1, she was in the 2, she was in the 4. That allowed her to be on the relays. That allowed her to do so much. That versatility really opened her up to be in more races and collect more medals. And I think Kerley has this example, or this kind of formula, this structure. He did say, or he kind of hinted that in the upcoming years that he would be back in the 4, or that the 4 is his main thing, and that this year he really just wanted to work on his speed and probably gain that speed confidence back, just really feel like the man, showing that he can run the shorter distance. And if he gets back into the 4 with this new speed and the strength that he already has, we could be looking at something great. He can be on the 4x1, the 4x4. He could do a sprint double in either way, the 2-4 sprint double or the 1-2 sprint double. So the world is really open to Fred. I know that his confidence is up. He's always been confident. He's shown it. He said that more people need to put respect on his name when it comes to the 400. We always kind of give it to Michael Norman, at least in the States. I feel like everyone loves Michael Norman. He's an amazing guy. He's a great runner and also a great person, but Kerley has a lot of wins over Norman, and he said, like, I want that respect. So those are, some of the top things that are going to push Kerley forward. One thing that I believe that he would need to work on is his start in the 1 and the 2. In the 1, I think it's because he's so tall. It seems that he's a step back, especially on the smaller guys, like on Trayvon Bromell. I could see him being a step back on Christian Coleman, who's such a great starter, and some of the other guys. So he really has that finish, that 400 meter finish, that 200 meter finish, and that's what he would need to work on, in my opinion, is his first 30, 40 for the 100, as well as that curve in the 200, just getting out quicker. We'll see if he can just continue to progress, stay focused. Once again, he's only 26 years old, so there is a lot of room for improvement, and he has the perfect it's like the perfect storm with all the championships coming, with all the notoriety and press that will be around each of these world championships, as well as the Olympics in 2024. So many opportunities to run the 1, to run the 2, to run the 4, to be a part of relays. So he really has the best opportunity probably of anyone on the planet. Y'all let me know if there's someone else who has a similar opportunity, but he definitely, in my opinion, has the best opportunity to just dominate, put his name out there, and collect these medals over the next few years. But that's all. Kerley, once again, had one of the most versatile years in track and field history, in my opinion, getting wins at 1, 2, and 4, and will continue to progress. Again, the first man in Diamond League history to ever get wins at 1, 2, and 4. The fourth man to ever break 10, 20, and 44 seconds. The world's kind of this guy's oyster over the next few years, but we'll just have to see if he can stay healthy and dominate, which I hope he does. I'm a big fan. It's a JUCO product, and he's out there. That's all for this one. It's your boy Limitless Mike. If you made it this far, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing more content, making more videos, and starting to do some interviews. So yeah, subscribe to the channel. Follow me at The Limitless Company. That's a clothing brand I'm a part of. Check it out. Hope y'all all have a blessed day. Take it easy.